I never thought much about my eyes before the accident. I mean, they were just there doing their job, letting me see the world. But all it took was one bad tackle during a weekend football game to change that. A knee to my face, a blinding pain, and then everything on my right side went blurry like I was looking through a fogged up window. The doctors told me my crystalline lens had been damaged beyond repair. There was a newer cutting-edge method available, an artificial replacement made of some kind of advanced material that adapted to the eye better than the traditional implants. It sounded promising. The surgeon assured me that the procedure was routine, recovery swift. I signed the papers almost without hesitation. I was sedated, and when I woke up, my vision was already clearer than it had been since the accident. The next few days were filled up with follow-up appointments, eye drops, careful movements, but everything went as expected. My eye adjusted quickly, and within a week I felt almost normal again. Almost. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light. A faint movement at the edge of my vision, like something shifting in the periphery. I assumed it was part of the healing process, maybe my brain adjusting to the new lens. When I mentioned it to my doctor, she nodded reassuringly. It's common with this kind of implant, she said. It should wear off in a couple of weeks. I believed her until the night I saw something different. I was brushing my teeth, staring at my reflection, when a shadow appeared, not on the wall behind me but on my cheek. A smudged outline of fingers pressed into my skin. I felt them. Cold, light, but undeniably real. I recoiled, dropping my toothbrush into the sink. The shadow disappeared as quickly as it had come, but my skin tingled where it had touched me. Then the fear began. I kept the lights on, but it didn't help. The shadows weren't just in the dark, they were everywhere, growing bolder. At first, that stayed at the corners of my vision, fleeting and faint. Then they lingered, solid shapes in the periphery. Soon I wasn't just seeing them, I was feeling them. A hand grazing my arm, a whisper in my ear, the faintest trace of decay in the air. One night I woke up gasping. My chest felt tight as though someone was sitting on it. I opened my eyes and there it was, an inky figure looming over me, its fingers digging into my ribs. I tried to scream but no sound came out. The shadow dissipated the moment I managed to switch on the lamp, but the pressure in my ribs remained for hours. I tried everything. I rearranged the furniture in my bedroom, removed everything that could cast a shadow, even covered the mirrors. But the figures didn't need reflections to exist. They adapted, if I can say so. One day, as I worked on my laptop, a black smudge formed across the screen. It twisted and curled, and before I could react, it slithered down onto my hands. I yelped, shaking them frantically. The shadow melted away, but the feeling of it crawling over my skin remained. Desperation drove me to my doctor again. She frowned, her professional mask slipping just slightly before she regained composure. It's likely anxiety, she said. The brain can react strangely to changes in vision. I suggest speaking to a therapist. I nodded numbly, but as I left her office, I heard her pick up the phone. Her voice was quiet, but the words were clear. Well, the subject did not meet our expectations. I didn't wait to find what that meant. The things were growing stronger. Now they whispered in my ear constantly, the words garbled but urgent. I caught glimpses of movement in places they had no right to be. Inside my cupboards, behind doors that were closed. Sometimes I saw their hands reaching for me, their fingers stretching until they disappeared just before they could make contact. One evening I stood in the shower, water cascading over my face, trying to clear my mind. When I opened my eyes, the entire room was filled with them. Dark figures, shifting, watching. I stumbled out, barely able to breathe. That was the night I decided I could not stay silent anymore. That night I sat in the kitchen, my hands trembling around a cup of coffee. My wife sat across from me, her brow furrowed with worry. "You're just tired," she said softly. "Your mind is playing tricks on you." I wanted to believe her, I really did, but then bang came. Loud, forceful, the front door rattled in its frame. I turned my head just in time to see them, men in black tactical gear, masks obscuring their faces. They moved fast, their boots pounding against the floor as they surged forward. I barely had time to stand before they were on me. The last thing I thought, as the world blurred into chaos, was simple. After all, it seems like I've really seen too much.